1 year ago, 12th grade, I had just finished high school and it was time to choose what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I had pretty good grades, so it was basically mandatory that I had to go to college. The problem was, which one would I go into? Which career did I want to pursue for the rest of my life? I didn't know. I was 17 at the time, and knowing that the wrong decision could literally set me back for years, it left me paralyzed. I could enter in pretty much any college of my choosing. I had the grades for that. I could choose whatever subject I enjoyed the most, but that simply made the decision even harder. I call it the curse of competence. When you set yourself up in such a way that you end up having too many options available, too many paths to follow, and you end up doing nothing. Now, even though it was a struggle, no one was going to give me sympathy for this. Like, no one woke up and said, "Oh, that poor guy, he has so many possible futures to pursue." My life was exciting, but I was also terrified. I felt guilty for seeming ungrateful even though I was in a privileged position. And I vividly remember constantly having high expectations pinned on myself. I was always expected to have excellent grades because up until that point I did. I was expected to always be in shape because up until then I was. People assumed I would always excel without effort, which is simply not true. It got to a point where just living my normal life felt like a burden, and it got me thinking, what's the solution? I could sabotage myself to not be as competent, but was I really gonna do that? Nah. I took a step back and I decided to evaluate my options. I began to understand that being competent wasn't the problem. The real issue was my approach to making decisions. I needed a strategy to navigate through the abundance of choices rather than feeling overwhelmed by them. I made a list of my interests and my passions, and then I considered my strengths and weaknesses. I was good at math and science, but I struggled with abstract concepts, in foreign languages. So I sought advice. I talked with my family and friends about my dilemma. I vividly remember one day I was leaving the gym with a friend of mine, and I was telling him how I wasn't sure of what I should pursue. And he just told me not to worry. He said that if I was meant to follow a certain path, then I would find my way there. If not, it would just be a dodged bullet. And that hit me hard, bro. It was a bit of a more stoic approach to it. The insights that I got were very valuable, but ultimately, I knew that the decision had to be mine. I couldn't let others dictate my future. Once I had made my decision, I realized that the curse of competence wasn't about being good at everything, It was about learning how to manage the pressure and the expectations that come with it. I embraced the idea that it's okay to change paths. Life is dynamic. I gave myself the permission to explore, to fail. I allowed myself to be human. So I guess the message that I have for you is that it's not about the number of options that you have. It's about how you navigate them. And most importantly, it's about finding fulfillment and happiness in the choices that you make, no matter how competent you are. This is just my opinion, but I don't believe there's any point in being successful and being competent if you're not happy with yourself.